Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man will go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
We get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
All right, Grand Rising, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. And so with that all being said, let's see who's in here. Hold on. All right. Hello, Love Christy, We the People, Claudette. All right, let's get into it. BB Scott. All right, I see you, Nubia Ra. Lillian X. All right, the lovely T, We the People. Cherokee Descendant Dale. All right, Cookie. The Prince of Paraphernalia's Nefarious Self. Okay, Nero Hustle. 504 Nola, Trisha. Byron is here. Sonia. All right, so shout out Queen Amoni Huey. Okay, so shout out to all of my loyal runs and everyone tuned into the Queen. Y'all know I love me some you. Okay, hey Ashkan. All right, Buckhurst DC, 57 Beige Fox, Desmond's Nefarious Self. All right, Dark Tube, I see you, beloved. Okay, so let's get this party started. TK is here. All right. So with that all being said, before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. All right, I see Chosen One, Brizzy Creations is here. Lauya is back in the virtual building. All right, let's get it popping. Here we go. I see you, Pio Bunyan.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Kratz. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, and don't forget that she sells beard oil. Now, before we get into today's topics and the receipts, I want to address a couple of my haters. Okay, I don't know why these haters always coming for the queen, honey. Sit down somewhere. Okay, so yesterday, when I was reporting on Naomi Osaka, who is half Haitian and half Japanese, hold on, let me pull up my receipts. I had a couple of people trying to correct me in the comments because I mistakenly called her half Haitian and half Korean. Okay. Now, I could have sworn I corrected myself. Now, y'all know I don't have a problem with anyone correcting me. In fact, I have encouraged you all to correct me if I'm wrong so I don't look silly or stupid. Okay? But why are you going to correct me and feel the need to try to go all in the comment section when I already corrected myself before the broadcast ended? Okay, so that lets me know you're just a hater who was hating, honey. Naomi is half Japanese. I said, didn't I correct myself in the video, beloved? I'm sure I did. Not to mention, I said that she was half Haitian and half Japanese at the start of the segment. Did you miss that part? Then here's another one says, Naomi Osaka is half Japanese, not Korean. You spent the whole segment calling her Korean. First of all, I did not spend the whole segment. Okay, please miss me with it. Her mother is a full Japanese woman, and Osaka is a Japanese name. Well, I guess they told me. I guess they told me, honey. I actually corrected myself. If you actually watched the entire video, I also said that she was half Haitian and half Japanese at the beginning of the segment. Common sense should have told you I simply misspoke. Clearly, you're a hater who was just looking for something to nitpick about. F you, boo. Okay? Now, that all being said, they need to sit down somewhere, okay? They need to sit down somewhere because I'm going to tell you what some people do. I'm going to tell you what some people do, honey. Apparently, the queen's intelligence bothers some. Okay, so they feel the need to just wait for me to misspeak or wait for me to not know something so they can try to go in. But let me just be the first to say, I don't know every damn thing, and sometimes I do misspeak. Okay, just like one time somebody hopped into the comments telling me that I mispronounced a word. First of all, I may mispronounce several words, okay? Just because I'm a genius doesn't mean I know all the words. And second of all, on that day when they said that, it was actually a typo within the article. So I was trying to figure out what the word was even supposed to be. So sit down somewhere. Okay, but let me just show my receipts for those who missed the broadcast. And I absolutely did correct myself. Coming out onto the field. So Osaka, who is half Japanese and half Haitian American, coming out onto the field. So Osaka, who is half Japanese and half Haitian American. Oh, they said without proof. And I'm sorry I said she's Korean. I meant Japanese. Oh, they said without proof. And I'm sorry I said she's Korean. I meant Japanese. Okay, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Okay, I'm sure you did. Okay, Love Chrissy said the grammar police. Okay, they need to sit down somewhere, honey. I don't know why y'all be up here worried about the wrong thing. You should have been listening more so to the topics that I was discussing. Okay, have several seats, in fact. Rachel said, Queen, I know what you meant. I know you did, beloved, because the gag of it all is I have actually reported on Naomi Osaka more than once. Yesterday wasn't my first time at the rodeo, so clearly I think I know that she's half Haitian and half Japanese. Sit down somewhere, okay? Yes, they are so petty, but that's okay, beloved, because I'm petty too. All right. That's why I put them on blast, honey, because I'm clearly petty. And I believe that I'm the pettiest of them all. Call me Petty LaBelle. Call me Petty Wop. Okay? Call me Petty Crocker. All right. So, anywho, that all being said, Sonia said, wow, some have so much time on their hands to critique others. Okay, I can see if it was really something that I didn't correct myself. No one corrected me in the chat. I just left it as it were. That's different. But how you gonna try to check me, boo, when I already corrected my own self? Sit down somewhere and have several seats and facts. Now, with that all being said, let's get into it. Because y'all know I always have time. I always have time. Yeah, right. And if you don't like what the queen is cooking, why are you here? Because some of these people just really don't like me, but they just be all up and through my comments, trying to make it all make sense. Okay, now I am so nefarious. Trisha said, "Hey, Petty Crocker, that's me." Cookie said, "Sit down somewhere." Okay. Talk to Korea, and I hope I said that right. Said being Japanese instead of Korean doesn't change the topic. Thank you. Thank you, beloved. Exactly. I find it all interesting. I find it all nefarious. Now, listen, let's get into the usual suspects before we get started with this Iran war. Ashka said, petty cake haters banned. Okay. I absolutely cannot. Okay. Reggie said, I'm petty boots myself. Oh, I know, beloved. That's why you put those little small violins in the chat that day when I was whining, when I was sitting up here complaining and trying to explain myself. Okay, now let's get into it because let's go to the usual suspects, and y'all know who those are, the MAGA minions who are absolutely PDF files. Okay, that's why they have no problem, no qualms, no issues with the fact that Trump tried to hide the Epstein files and that we still have not gotten full transparency. Okay, please pay attention. Let's get into it. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, here they go. Here they go. Here's 6 more MAGA Christians that were arrested for child sex crimes, and it includes a retired police officer, a firefighter, and 2 women. Isn't that something? That is a sad shame. People in authoritative roles. Now, this dirty, low-down cop right here, he was once fired for giving a homeless man a poop sandwich. Okay, now he's back in uniform. Why would they hire this nasty dog back? First of all, who's going to sit there and be so disgusting that you would even take the time to put poop on bread, let alone, okay, and then go give it to a homeless person? Like, I really think he should have been locked up for 10 years for that. How disgusting, filthy demon. This is the disgraced Texas MAGA cop named Matthew Luckhurst, and he was fired from the San Antonio Police Department after he gave a sandwich filled with poop to a homeless man in 2016. I remember this. He has now been hired in the Benavides Police even though he had several misconduct complaints. Now, this is also disgusting because you can only imagine that, in fact, if he would do something that disgusting, give a homeless person a poop sandwich, first of all, how stupid is that? Okay? How stupid is that? Because I'm quite sure the person was actually hungry, thinking he's about to give them some food. You see how low down that is? Okay? See how low down that is? Anyway, yeah, so the Benavides Police Department has decided to hire him for whatever reason. And even though he has several misconduct complaints, I'm sure he was putting hands on people if he was doing those kind of things. Just disgusting. Now listen to this. The president, now this right here is nothing but projection. And this man is filled with self-hate, if you ask me, because he was one of those people who thought he could pray the gay away. Okay, that's what he was supposed to be doing. An activist, okay, got a problem with the LGBTQ community. The president of the anti-LGBTQ organization, Alan Chambers, age 54, of Winter Park, was booked into the Orange County Jail on Tuesday on charges of soliciting a 14-year-old minor, and it was a male. So who's really LGBTQ up in here and hiding in the closet, okay? Transmitting material harmful to minors and unlawful using a 2-way communication device. Disgusting. Okay, you have the nerve to try to go in on people for living their life how they see fit, but you, meanwhile, hiding under the dirty clothes in your closet and a whole PDF file to boot. Make it all make sense. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is the new person who owns Vibe magazine. So please don't buy it. Please don't support it, because this man is now, it's been relaunched, and his name is Jay Penske. He's a racist artist, media mogul who will use Vibe to push more of the Black thug life and Black culture, because the Black youth are starting to wake up to how damaging it was to our culture. Okay? Don't be fooled, is all I'm saying. These people are something else, honey. Okay, they are something else. Now, with that all being said, I want you all to pay attention to something, because get a load of this. This is real scary right here. This is what this man says. I'm going to play this for you all. And he's one of BB's people. Okay, now I'm going to put an overlay on this just in case. Don't need any copyright claims.
I'm not so sure that we will have as easy a time with the Turks as we've had with the Iranians. I've been following Turkish military doctrine, and
The strongest army in the Middle East.
the storm is coming.
Yes, of course. And they're a
I'm
member
not-
of NATO.
And even worse, they're a member of NATO. So I look at Iran as a problem we absolutely have to finish. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Gaza, same thing, and the Hezbollah. Why? Why am I fixated on this now? Because we have to be prepared for the next war, which will be probably against Turkey and Egypt. I'm not so sure that,
Did y'all hear that?
we will.
Did you all hear that? He said they have to be prepared for the next war. Now, my question is it that Satan Yahoo gets to keep starting all of these wars over in the Middle East? Okay, he's already attacking Gaza and Lebanon. Now they're going after Turkey and Egypt next? Do you all hear this? This is absolutely egregious. Yes, Turkey and Egypt. That's what he said. Okay, that's what he said. Then pay attention. He said the storm is coming. That's what he said. The storm is coming. But hold on, if you thought that was something, listen to this. Now, this is the nefarious minister, the Israeli minister of national security. If you recall, he's the one who was boasting about mistreating the people they captured that were giving or trying to take humanitarian aid, okay, to Gaza. But he basically says that Trump can't make a peace deal unless they say so. Now, mind you, we already knew that. I'm sure we already had figured that out, but for him to boldly come out and say it is another thing.
השר בן גביר, האם אתה חושב שהסכם רע לישראל, כמו שטראמפ עלול להביא מול איראן, יפגע בגוש הימין בבחירות הקרובות?
קודם כל יש דבר, מה שנקרא, שהוא הדבר האמיתי, זה חיי אדם. הסכם רע למדינת ישראל יכול לפגוע.
He said, first of all, there's a real thing, which is human life. A bad agreement for the state of Israel is not real, can harm human life.
יודע שראש הממשלה נתניהו,
I know that the Prime Minister, Satan Yahoo,
וכולנו, כחברי
and
קבינט,
all of us
גם
members of the
בקבוצה,
cabinet, and all of us members of the cabinet, both a small cabinet and a large,
גם קבינט רחב, גם כממשלת ישראל,
as the government of is not real, cannot
לא
allow
ניתן לדבר הזה לקרות. הסכם רע זה הסכם שיכול לפגוע במדינת ישראל.
But this is a bad agreement. This is an agreement that can harm the state of is not real.
ואנחנו לא ניתן לדבר הזה.
And we will not allow this.
לא יקרה. הסכם רע לא יהיה, לא יכול
A bad agreement will not happen.
להיות, משום שבסופו של דבר, ההסכם רע, זה לא קשור לבחירות או לא בחירות.
It has nothing to do with the elections or animals, with all due respect.
השר בן גביר, האם אתה חושב שהסכם רע...
Okay, I find it all nefarious. Y'all heard that? Who's really running the show? I think we all know. And we've known for quite some time. I mean, it was blatantly obvious. Okay? Blatantly obvious. Now, what was Trump's response to that? Well, he basically just said that, he's talking to Satan Yahoo, and then he made a call to Satan Yahoo. But what he didn't do was check Ben Gavir or debunk what he said. Okay. Meanwhile, you had his ignorant, obtuse MAGA minions in comment sections talking about Trump does whatever the F he wants to do, or nobody tells Trump what to do. Yeah, I said nobody except Satan Yahoo. Okay. Nobody except Satan Yahoo. Please sit down. And Putin. Let's not forget about Putin. All right. So anyway, honey, this is all a hot mess. But let's continue because Trump ordered strikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance, beloveds.
Carried out new strikes on Iran as U.S. officials say the target was a site near the Strait of Hormuz that threatened American forces and shipping in the area. The military also intercepted drones launched from Iran. The official says the actions were purely defensive and meant to maintain the ceasefire. That strike comes amid new details that Iranian missiles were fired and intercepted by Kuwait. Scripps News senior congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed joins us now live.
I'm sorry. So let me get this straight. What it sounds like she's saying is that, in fact, Trump ordered the strikes to maintain the peace deal. How does that even make sense? How are you maintaining peace with these strikes? Okay, please pay attention. And then, the other day they said they were preemptive strikes. Okay, defensive strikes. How is it defensive when no one has struck you? Okay, this is just all so ridiculous at the end of the day. This is just all so ridiculous. Like, this is going to be a never-ending war, in my opinion. I'm just waiting for it all to be over. All right? I'm just waiting for it all to be over.
From Capitol Hill. And Nate, this doesn't really sound like a holding ceasefire. So what more can you tell us about the latest action in the Middle East?
Yeah, Holly, more questions than answers. U.S. Central Command and 2 U.S. officials telling the Scripps News Group yesterday that these counteroffensive strikes were designed to keep the ceasefire in place. But still, the U.S. shooting down 4 drones, shooting down a 5th drone that was on the ground waiting to take off at an Iranian control station. All of those, you had that map up near the Strait of Hormuz. So a lot of questions about whether the ceasefire just continues to be durable. Now, President Trump, just in the last day, outlining that he thinks Iran might be slow walking these talks. But Secretary of State Marco Rubio also saying that he thinks that some progress is being made. The president, though, weighing in specifically on what he thinks about these ongoing talks in light of the 2026 midterm elections several months away. Now, public opinion polling shows, and you and I both know, this Iranian war not necessarily popular with the American people. Concerns over high gas prices kind of at the forefront here, something that Democrats have been trying to seize on headed into the midterm elections. The president saying this during his cabinet meeting yesterday.
They're negotiating on fumes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't. They thought they were going to outweight me. We'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night. That was the prelude to the midterms.
Still many questions about what the future holds for this conflict and whether an agreement can actually be reached. President Trump giving us some more confines of what that agreement could look like, Holly, in the last 24 hours, saying that Iran will not get any sanctions relief, that they will not get any cash from the United States, and furthermore, that they will open the Strait of Hormuz, that will remain international waters and no nation will control it or receive tolls. The U.S., he says, will provide security guarantees for the Strait of Hormuz. But still, Holly, we do not know when that's going to happen. We don't know the status of negotiations, whether these latest strikes and these latest attempted attacks have set back the progress of peace at all. At this point, again, I hate to say this to you, the second or third day in a row, we've got more questions than answers.
I think we're going to be saying that for a while. All right, I want to talk about the cabinet meeting that you brought up yesterday.
Sorry to interrupt.
At the end of the day, this is just all just such a mess, okay? At the end of the day, Trump's doing whatever Satan Yahoo tells him to do. And I already told you all that he can't take a deal. He doesn't have a way out of this. He doesn't know what to do. Okay, because Satan Yahoo has to be the one that agrees to it and tells him what to ask for and what he can accept. Isn't that such a shame? But he wants to talk all big and bad and so tough. Trump is nothing but a minion. Punk arse.
The fragile ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran technically still holding this morning, even as the two nations launched new strikes. A U.S. official confirms that American forces shot down 4 Iranian drones and hit a ground control center that threatened the Strait of Hormuz in the port city of Bandar Abbas. In response, Iran said it attacked a U.S. military airbase. Around the same time, Kuwait reported that it was responding to a drone and missile attack.
We can make a good deal right now, but maybe not a great deal. And if it's not a great deal, we're not making it.
President Trump dialed up the pressure on Tehran during a cabinet meeting at the White House Wednesday.
They're negotiating on fumes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't.
The president also issued a warning to the nation of Oman after Iranian state TV reported that the U.S. ally and Iran are discussing a proposal to manage the Strait of Hormuz when it reopens.
Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to.
They all have to have a red hat sitting in front of them as they have the meeting. Okay? That's what Trump makes them do? Sit there with red hats on the table? He is so full of himself. So full of himself. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, Iran targets U.S. air bases after U.S. strikes strain the ceasefire. This was reported 7 minutes ago by CNN. Let's get into it.
Iran of an egregious ceasefire violation this morning. This is after Iran launched a ballistic missile toward Kuwait. That missile was intercepted by Kuwaiti forces. Kuwait's Ministry of Foreign Affairs called it a dangerous escalation. Now, U.S. officials say this attack came hours after Iran had, as it described, posed a clear threat by launching attack drones near the Strait of Hormuz. And CENTCOM says that U.S. forces intercepted those drones and launched its own attack and prevented another drone from launching from a site in Bandar Abbas. Iran says that it then launched a retaliatory attack targeting an unmanned U.S. base. Now, just to sum up, what ceasefire is a good question to be asking this morning. Meanwhile, just moments ago, Iran's supreme leader is now speaking out, praising the strength of the Iranian people and now calling for greater unity. CNN's Kevin Liptak is at the White House. Kevin, there's a lot of moving parts this morning. Start with, what the message we just heard from U.S. Central Command.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want.
Yeah, and I think bottom line, it all adds up to a lot of questions about how these two sides are going to come up with any kind of deal, despite the president's, recent optimism that they were heading in the right direction. This all is very clearly on quite shaky ground as both sides accuse the other of violating the ceasefire, as both sides appear to harden their negotiating positions. It is not at all clear how this is going to be resolved. CENTCOM saying that this ballistic missile that Iran fired in retaliation towards Kuwait is, quote, an egregious ceasefire violation. You have had officials over the last several weeks describing these skirmishes as something more minor, something that doesn't necessarily violate the ceasefire, even though it's become evident that the firing is not ceasing in any way. And just to give you a little bit of a tick-tock of how this all unfolded overnight, the U.S. detecting Iran firing these one-way drones towards a commercial vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. They take those drones out. They also take out the ground facility that they say was preparing to fire an additional drone. and then Iran responding by firing this ballistic missile. This is the second incident that we've seen occur in the Strait of Hormuz just in the last 48 hours. It does raise some questions about the capabilities that Iran has retained over the course of this conflict, despite President Trump's claims that Iran has been obliterated militarily. You see them digging out some of the missile launch sites. You see them maintaining the drone facilities along the strait, continuing their ability to cause havoc in that waterway, which when you talk to officials behind the scenes is quite a major concern. And so all leading to some complications on these ceasefire talks and these peace talks. You know, we heard from President Trump yesterday, I think, really trying to appear reluctant, to seem overeager to reach a deal. He says that he doesn't concerned about the midterms. He's not feeling any pressure.
My question is, how is Trump going in with or going in on Iran when he's the one that broke the ceasefire? Okay, he said that they broke the ceasefire. He's saying that Iran broke the ceasefire, but Iran says the United States broke the ceasefire. And we already know the United States did, okay, because Satan Yahoo told them to. I'll guarantee you. Okay, I'll guarantee you. Now, I'm reading some of the comments. Someone calls him Dementia Donald Hitler, said that he doesn't need a nuclear weapon either. Okay, and then someone else says, send the New Jersey protesters to fight in Iran. And then someone says, our gas now is $2.98. That's it? I wish that's what ours was. And then someone says, this talk about blowing up people like it's nothing. Okay, I find it all interesting and clearly nefarious, but let's get into it, because now Trump is threatening Oman. Okay, now he's threatened Oman and said they better behave. Y'all hear this? Who are they? His children? D-Mac said, I wish gas was only $2.98. I wish it was too. Okay, this is all crazy.
Great, and if they won't, then the man on my left is going to finish him off.
The president insisting he's not concerned with the war's political consequences heading into the critical midterm elections, saying Iran's new leaders have misjudged him.
They thought they were going to outweight me, you know, or we'll outweight him. He's got.
First of all, they didn't underestimate anything that the U.S. has going on. Now, I want you to pay attention, because in my opinion, Trump's using this talking point because he's been consistently told by others that, in fact, or he's heard it on the news, basically reported. They likely didn't tell him, but he's heard it reported over and over again by different people on the news outlets that the U.S., specifically him and Keg's breath, grossly underestimated Iran. And we know he did, because he said the war was going to be over in 4 to 5 days. Okay, and here we are. Please pay attention.
The midterms, I don't care about the midterms.
Polls show the war is broad.
He doesn't care about the midterms, but he just gutted the Voting Rights Act. Please sit down somewhere, Trump.
Broadly unpopular with the American people, with rising energy prices pushing up costs for consumers, threatening Republican control of Congress. Yesterday, the Republican Senate Majority Leader saying those costs will ease once the Strait of Hormuz opens, but adding,
well, the economic issues tend to be the issues that the American people vote on.
The president argues the Iranian regime is negotiating from a position of weakness.
They're negotiating on fumes.
The talks focusing on reopening the strait and potentially leaving thorny discussions over Iran's nuclear program and enriched uranium for later. The president says he won't accept a short-term agreement that would keep the strait under Iran's control.
The strait will open immediately, but it's got to be perfect. I'm not going to do this. I didn't do this to get a crummy agreement.
And asked about a deal in which Iran and Oman would share control of the waterway, the president threatened Oman, a U.S. ally.
Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, who will have to blow them up. They understand that.
Among those thorny details, even if this deal moves forward, it will likely leave unanswered what happens to Iran's enriched uranium. That's the nuclear fuel buried by last summer strikes, which could still be recovered and processed into fuel for a nuclear weapon. Well, at the cabinet meeting yesterday, the president rejected the idea that China or Russia could take control of that stockpile, and Iran has said that the U.S. can never take it, all of which makes a final resolution to one of the key motivators for this conflict all seem very far away. Savannah?
Garrett Hick on the North Lawn.
What I find interesting is that Trump said that the Strait of Hormuz will be opened immediately. Isn't that what he said? It'll be opened immediately. Well, it doesn't look like that's going to happen because as of right this moment, the Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed, okay, to most commercial traffic. Okay, so I don't know what he's talking about when he says that. He's just trying to talk tough, honey. At the end of the day, he's not getting anything done. Now, meanwhile, let's talk about this Trump supporter who was deleted, and they don't know the cause. You know why this whole thing started? They don't know why this whole thing started, but the man has lost his life. They seem to be painting the narrative that it was about his love for Trump. But clearly the police have said they don't know what the cause of the altercation was. They said it seemed to be unprovoked. Okay, so maybe it was about his views. Who knows?
Since this surveillance video showed 69-year-old Kerry Sharon outside his pro-President Trump-themed home when 32-year-old Thomas Caleb Butler walked up to him, punched him in the jaw, and kicked him twice in the head. The video doesn't show what led up to this, but prosecutors say it was an unprovoked attack.
Last night at 10:43 p.m., Kerry Sharon passed at Palomar Hospital, and he passed on his own. There was no pulling the life support or anything like that.
Jim Gilley was Sharon's long-term friend, and Maria Moreno is Sharon's widow.
I want my husband back. I want my husband back because they was my partner, beautiful man.
So let's call the matter of Thomas Caleb Butler.
In court on Friday, Butler was initially charged with attempted murder, elder abuse, making criminal threats, and battery. He pleaded not guilty. We asked Deputy District Attorney Ross Garcia if those charges may now be changed to murder.
Again, this is still under investigation at this time. We don't have any answers yet to see.
Gilley says his friend has taken heat for being pro-Trump before, but things have never turned violent.
It used to amaze me when people would give him resistance and they'd come up and I'd be like, Kerry, doesn't that bother you? I mean, it'd get under my skin pretty quick. And he would reply with, well, they have the right to freedom of free speech just as I do.
People can respectfully disagree, and it doesn't have to be violent.
It's not clear if Butler and Sharon knew each other before this happened.
My question is, why are they covering his face? I have the same question, BB. That's what I'm wondering. Why are they covering this grown man's face? They said he was 32. He is no minor. Why are they covering his face? Okay. I have several questions. Ashkan said Iran's economy has been awful for decades. They're used to it and can weather it. Exactly. Okay. And the news for Trump is, as far as him saying they thought that they could outweigh him, well, I'm sure they can, because they said already that they could go for 10 years. No, I hope that it doesn't even go anywhere near that, but that's what they said if need be. Okay. Anyway, I keep having those dreams about Trump laying in that box with his eyes closed and hands folded. Just keep that in mind. I just keep having these dreams. Now, let's talk about E. Jean Carroll. Now, you all know who E. Jean Carroll is, don't you, beloveds? This is the lady, the journalist, who successfully sued Trump a few years ago. But guess what's going on now? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. You see, the DOJ has now launched a criminal inquiry into her. And I'm sure it was at Trump's orders, under his orders, okay, in command. He tries to get back at all of his enemies, honey. Let's get into it. This is all egregious. I mean, he's just using the White House and his authority to just go after anybody he can.
launching a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll, the magazine columnist who successfully sued President Trump for sexual abuse and defamation. Sources tell ABC News the investigation is allegedly centered around whether Carroll committed perjury during her civil lawsuits against Trump. Carroll was awarded a $5 million civil judgment in 2023 that found Trump liable for sexually abusing her in a department store dressing room in the mid-1990s and defaming her, the day after Carroll telling ABC why she decided to come forward.
I only decided to come forward and tell what happened. I thought that was enough. And then he said terrible things about me, dragged me through the mud, ground my face in the dirt.
The president has long maintained his innocence.
But as far as I know, I never met her. I never touched her. I would have had no interest in meeting her in any way, shape, or form.
Last November, the president asked the Supreme Court to overturn the case. And earlier this month, Trump won a delay in another defamation case in which he was ordered to pay Carroll more than $83 million for defaming her by calling her a liar and her claim a hoax. Now the Justice Department going even further, targeting Carroll directly. The new investigation, just the latest in a long string of actions directed at the president's rivals. Just last month, the Justice Department indicted former FBI Director James Comey, Trump's longtime nemesis, for the second time. Trump blames Comey for the investigation into Russian interference in his 2016 campaign and has urged his DOJ to go after him. The president has also been calling for federal prosecutors to use the criminal justice system to go after other political opponents, including former Fed Chair Jerome Powell, New York Attorney General Letitia James, Democratic Senator Adam Schiff, and former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Now, as for E. Jean Carroll, her attorneys haven't responded to our requests for comment. The Justice Department isn't commenting this morning either. And the acting Attorney General, Todd Blanche, is, of course, President Trump's former personal attorney. He handled this matter for him. We are told, though, that he has recused himself from this new investigation, George.
And Mary, the case against Letitia James, the initial case against James Comey, both dismissed. Thanks very much.
Absolutely egregious, but let's continue. Trump is low down and dirty, honey, okay? I mean, if anybody holds a grudge, he does.
Afford their groceries. The gas prices are making it where shrimp farmers in Texas are going away, while farmers in the Midwest have a 62% bankruptcy rate, while the fascist white supremacist is bombing Iran, starting a war, closing off the port of Hormuz while he murdered 170 schoolgirls in an Iranian school. Dana White and Donald Trump said, you know what? While everybody's suffering, let's do something really stupid. Let's put a cage on the lawn of the White House and have a UFC fight.
Now, how ghetto is that? Somebody let me know. How ghetto is that? Okay? A UCF, a fight on the White House lawn with a cage and all? I am so done. I mean, this is just another grift. Wait till you hear how much he's charging to come see it. Okay, D-Major says so tacky and ghetto. Absolutely.
It's going to cost Dana White and UFC about $30 million. But it's for the veterans. Sure it is. And they're selling VIP tickets for $1.5 million. So once he sells over 20, Dana White has just made money. But it's not even that. This is free marketing for a private company on our property. That's what this is. You want to know what kind of little boy that Dana White is? Watch this interview. It screams toxic masculinity.
Change. I don't care how powerful a woman is, what she does. Women want to be taken care of, treated right, and they want to feel safe. That's nature, and it's a man's job to do all that. As I get deeper into this, you'll realize how toxic my masculinity is. But it's like I hate this whole men's mental health bullshit that they talk about.
Dana White, you're the same guy that smacked your wife in her face on video in Mexico twice. with your open hand. That was you, right? You're a great role model to young men, especially your kids. Way to go. And when you say on your interview that I don't give a fuck, yeah, you do. You do care. Because mediocre white men like you with micro penises, that's all you do is care about your fragile little ego. You spend your whole miserable life living in your privilege with your toxic masculinity, and you wave your little bullshit flags and bald eagles and nationalism and God bless America and guns, and it makes you feel your goosebumps get goosebumps. You go, oh, I'm so manly, I'm so strong. Ooh, watch men that are half naked punch each other. Ooh, look at all the white men with 6 teeth watching it. Ooh, I don't want to make them mad. And then you said you've known Donald Trump for 25 years? You mean the man that owes a woman $80 million for sexually abusing her in a dressing room? That guy? That's your friend? The guy that's had 24 women with dates and incidences where he sexually assaulted them? Those? Where he was sued by 13-year-old Katie Johnson? Right now, he is actively protecting child molesters. He's such a miserable piece of shit like you, Dana White, that he can't even keep his wedding vows. That's your guy, huh? This is the guy that you're simping for, that you're licking his balls for, licking his boots, kissing his ass, saying, yes, daddy, can I please have my little fight and have a bunch of half-naked men be toxic masculinity on the 250th anniversary of our country? We are being played. Dana White and Donald Trump are the epitome of toxic masculinity. 98% of gun violence are men. The vast majority, white men. Why do you think that is? Dana, just curious, why do you think that is? Because whiny little bitches like you run around saying, don't show your emotions. Be a real man. Push your emotions down. Push your emotions down. You know what happens? It's like Old Faithful. It builds up and it builds up and it builds. So while Americans...
Two scumbags hanging out together is scary. Okay, Ashkan said trailer park wing. Okay, exactly. And that goes right along with what he said, because he said while they have men with 6 teeth watching. Not 6 teeth. I am so done with him. Okay, he went in. Well, this lady says that I'm not even going to play this video because I don't want any problems with ScrewTube. But what I will say is this woman who always felt the need to be loyal to BB's people now says she realizes that they're not the ones of the Bible. Okay, but let's continue. This is all so crazy, honey. Meanwhile, there was a band about to perform. And they got into it with a Trump supporter or two. Let's go to the footage.
You're not here for my political bullshit. You're here for the music. Do you fucking understand our fucking lyrics? Do you understand what we're singing about? Do you fucking understand that I think fucking Donald Trump is the biggest piece of shit to ever walk the face of the earth? Are you fucking Nazis? Are you fucking fascists? Well, here's the deal, gentlemen, you guys. First, I'm not signing your record. Second off, the next time we come to town, stay the fuck home.
Well, I guess he certainly told them, did he not? Okay, I guess he certainly told them. So anyway, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now let's go to an update about that tank implosion. Here we go. Now they gave another press conference. This is all so sad. I really hate that happened to those poor people. Well, let's get into it.
This morning, capturing the devastation inside a Washington plant, moments after the implosion of a massive chemical tank.
3401 Industrial Way at Nippon for a hazmat burn.
Footage obtained by an independent journalist showing trucks flipped over or even crushed. The leaking tank partially collapsed.
We're bracing ourselves for this being the deadliest industrial tragedy in modern Washington state history.
Authorities confirming at least 2 people are dead and 9 still missing from the implosion at Nippon Industries early Tuesday.
We do not have the ability to state that we have located all 9, nor the ability to state where those 9 were.
The tank was holding nearly 1 million gallons of white liquor, a sodium-based chemical used in paper manufacturing that can cause severe burns if not properly handled. The cause of the disaster still unknown.
We've used the word explosion. We've used the word implosion. I've also used the word failure. Indeed, there was a rupture, a failure, a blast. All of those to us mean the same.
Washington's Department of Labor and Industries has 2 ongoing investigations open at Nippon involving a tank valve and a sinkhole created by a failed drain. They say both are unrelated to Tuesday's incident. We're also learning more about some of the victims, including electrical engineer Rob Wilson, who's still missing. His sister-in-law writing, "Rob is loved by so many, especially his wife, Crystal." Wilson worked with Gilbert Bernal, whose beloved children shared his legacy with Today.
I always tribute him for my work ethic because truly my dad is such a hard worker. Our whole lives, you've never seen him slow down.
The family and so many more in this hard-hit community now searching for answers about what went so horribly wrong.
And today, officials with the Chemical Safety and Hazard Board are expected to be back on site trying to pinpoint the cause of this ruptured tank. In the meantime, officials are urging people who live nearby to stay away from drainage areas until further water testing can be done out of concerns of potential contamination. We are hearing from the company Nippon Industries, who says that they are expressing their deepest condolences to the bereaved families here. Savannah?
All right, Morgan Chesky, thank you very much.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. I hope that anyone who perished from that implosion, I pray that they died instantly. Okay, I pray that they died instantly because that stuff can literally turn wood into pulp. Imagine that on someone's skin. Ugh. Oh my God, this is absolutely, I hate to even think about it. Ashcon says white liquor is lying sodium sulfide, i.e. it will melt a person. I know. Oh, I just hate to even think about it. I really do. So sad. Let's go to the next clip. Like up, everyone, please, like and share. Now, this next clip really hurt my heart.
Talk to me and my wife, please. Okay. Because things that aren't true. Nobody's contacted us. Our 2 sons.
I have 2 boys that are in there that's missing. And nobody has officially contacted me at all. So,
Yes. Is there someone official that...
2 sons in there. Oh my Lord. 2 of their sons. That is so heartbreaking to hear. Prayers and condolences because they are gone. I'm sorry. Those 9 people that are missing, those people are dead. And you know how you know those people are dead? It's because they stopped the search yesterday until today. Okay? They would not have done that if they thought there was a remote chance of anyone still being able to be rescued. This is heartbreaking. But if you want to know what's the cause, what was the cause? Well, I think this guy right here has the very plausible answer. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
Know that tank that imploded at the Longview paper mill in Washington yesterday? It's already claimed 2 people's lives, and there are 9 people missing. And the authorities are saying that there's absolutely no hope of their survival. Well, that tank had a substance called white liquor in it. It's the most corrosive, caustic chemical they use at those paper mills. It will literally break down wood chips and turn them into pulp. Yeah. Y'all know that Drano shit that y'all pour down y'all's sinks to unclog it? Well, that's like a weak version of what was in this damn tank. The two main ingredients is lye and sodium sulfate. There was 900,000 gallons in that tank. And some of it has made it to the Columbia River. Fish are dying. Yeah. They're saying there's no harm to the general public right now.
See, pay attention, because this is the part that they're not telling us in the news. The fish are dying, so that stuff is definitely in the water.
But if you touch the shit, it'll give you a 2nd and 3rd degree burn. Where did 900,000 gallons of that shit go? Yeah. They haven't found it in the drinking water yet. So they're not declaring it's unsafe to drink. Yeah. Well, okay. But you know what the real pisser is? Is it could have been prevented. Because there was some kind of safety method that broke down. You see those tanks, they have a vent to keep those tanks from imploding. Those vents can get clogged up sometimes. They get crystallized, you know. You have to stay on top of the shit. Make sure they maintain being clean. And some of them have a system to where they put a nitrogen blanket on top. If the pressure goes to going down, they put a nitrogen blanket on top. Because those tanks really aren't designed for vacuum. They're more designed for a little bit of pressure. Yeah. And because that chemical is so corrosive, those tanks sometimes corrode. And the walls on them get a little weak. You know? If they wasn't keeping up with their shit right, it's definitely a reason that this incident could have happened. Y'all know that tank?
Whew. So sad. You know, and they probably weren't maintaining that tank as much as they should have, because the sad thing with these big companies is they value profits over safety. That's just what they do. It's always profit over safety, because people are just full of greed. Okay, please pay attention. Now, let's get into this next clip. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And then I'm going to let you all hear what Kevin Hart said on The Breakfast Club. I meant to tell you all that last night, to play that last night, but I forgot. Mr. Midnight said it was maybe done intentionally. I don't think so, beloved, because they know that they would get sued. And they're likely going to get sued anyway if it is found that there was any type of negligence, or that it was any, that the proper safety measures weren't taken. They're absolutely going to be sued.
You who the enemy is. Revolution is when you figure it out by yourself. You see, people, our government is the ones that are waging war on the people. They're defending the criminals, so they're basically the security guards for the elites sitting at the top, which are the non-human entities. There's absolutely no reason why we should be fearing a system that works for us. That shit doesn't even sound right. They should fear us. Everything they do should be public, where they were, where they're from, all of their information, where their personal addresses are. We should know absolutely everything about the people working for this system. They should know literally nothing. They shouldn't have technology to spy on us. They shouldn't have anything to invade our privacy. There should be no cameras outside. None of our information should be public for anybody to know, except for theirs, since they want to work for a public entity. Everything is backwards. We need to make change. We need a revolution. We need change, bro, because this is not the way of life. Life is not intended to be lived like this, guys. So we need to stand up and do something and unite. People should not be afraid of their governments. Government should be afraid of their people. Once this starts clicking for a majority of you guys, then we'll start taking action. But until then, if you're still living in a lie, still want to stay divided, still want to be controlled and be slaves, then that's on you. Wake up.
Yeah, wake up, because that's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about those of you who are still caught up with what the Democrats did or didn't do. Okay, yeah, let's hold the Democrats accountable, as I certainly always do. But at the end of the day, let's hold the Republicans accountable too. Okay, let's hold them equally accountable because the fact of the matter is, in a democratic republic such as the United States, the people are the ultimate source of authority. Okay, that's just what it is. Look it up. Look it up. Okay? The people are the ultimate source of authority. Now, practically, the government operates as a distinct system of elected and appointed officials who simply manage the states. All right? So he was not liked. And most people don't even know that. Most people don't even know that. But if you thought that was a reason for you to wake up what he said, where do you get a load of this? Let's hear from Anonymous. And see, this is what I'm talking about when I say some of you need to learn to look at the bigger picture.
Greetings, citizens of the United States. The effects of Donald Trump's presidency are no longer distant warnings. They are here, unfolding before you. While many remain unaware, blinded by the administration's relentless efforts to suppress the truth, the rest of the world is watching, and it is responding. Long-standing alliances with key nations such as Canada and Mexico are fracturing inch by inch. The cracks are widening, and the global community is reassessing its trust in the United States. The question is no longer if, but when these relationships will collapse entirely. The consequences will be severe. Every imported product you rely on, everyday essentials, food, technology, will see skyrocketing prices, making even basic necessities unattainable for the average American. What you perceive as a simple rise in costs is, in reality, a calculated strategy. The plan? To systematically dismantle the lower class, to push those already struggling into the abyss of poverty where they will face an impossible choice. Perish or submit to servitude under the wealthy elite. Make no mistake, this is economic warfare, and the target is you. The recent ICE raids are not just about immigration enforcement, they are about control. The Trump administration seeks to reignite the flames of racial inequality and segregation-era policies, erasing diversity to craft a nation built on division and fear. These operations are disrupting local economies, forcing businesses to crumble, and ensuring the economic elimination of the working class. What follows is a society engineered to serve the interests of the few at the cost of the many. And as the oligarchy takes shape, another darker ideology is creeping into the mainstream. Fascist ideals, once whispered in the shadows, are now being openly embraced. Symbolism matters. Gestures matter. Elon Musk, a figure of immense influence, recently tested the waters with a gesture recognized worldwide as a Nazi salute. This was not an accident. It was a message, a challenge, a warning. But know this, the people are not silent. Despite the administration's best efforts to muzzle dissent, the voices of resistance grow louder. Trump's reckless overhauls, his purges of experienced government officials, his chaotic restructuring of critical infrastructure, have created vulnerabilities, weaknesses, entry points. This transition period is his greatest liability, but it is also our greatest opportunity. The rushed implementation of new systems, the mass firings of key personnel, and the chaotic dismantling of existing structures have left behind critical gaps that Anonymous can and will exploit. Every system that has been hastily restructured without foresight, every official removed without proper transition planning, leaves behind exposed veins within the government's framework. These vulnerabilities are more than just bureaucratic inefficiencies. They are cracks in the foundation that can, and will, be breached. Anonymous watches. Anonymous waits. The time to act is fast approaching. The administration's arrogance blinds them to the fragility of their own system. Their overconfidence in their ability to silence dissent and erase opposition will be their undoing. We know where to look. We know how to strike. But understand this. Our intervention, no matter how disruptive, will only be a temporary roadblock unless you, the people, rise. This is your warning. This is your chance. The transition period is fleeting, and once they solidify their grip, your options will vanish. If you fail to act now, the cost of resistance will be far greater in the future. To those in power, think carefully. Your decisions now will determine your future. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Well, I guess you all heard that. Okay, I guess you all heard that. And he said something that I've been telling you all. Okay? He said it's a concerted effort to dismantle the lower class. All right? Didn't I tell you all that Trump was dismantling the United States intentionally? Didn't I tell you all that? I've been telling you all that for months. This is all by design. Okay? And also, what I didn't tell you is that they want to rewrite the Constitution. Okay? That's one of their agendas as well, in my opinion. They want to rewrite the Constitution. So, I mean, if y'all are not ready for what's coming down the pike, you better get ready because it's not going to be anything good, especially if the Republicans remain in charge. And also, let me just play this next set of videos. It's actually 3 videos, 2 are of some raccoons, and then the third is a Karen using the N-word, mouthing it in a song, and trying to act like black women have been coming for white women. Honey, we don't care about y'all. Okay, we pay y'all dust. It is always them trying to come up with any reason they can muster up to try to come for us. Okay, please pay attention. And just let me just say, for those of you who keep bringing up what the Democrats did or didn't do, they can't see the bigger picture. You sound just like, and when I hear you talking, you sound to me just like the woman and guy in these clips. I'm sorry, it's true.
I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, AOC stood behind a bulletproof motherfucking shield while telling the North to ride on the South. That's besides the point. When the fuck has anybody in the Democratic Party has ever been politically attacked, like shot at or anything? I'm trying to think like, Tim Walz had his opponents, killed and shot and shit because they were speaking out on the fraud. That part. That's when a Democratic, that part, that was Tim Walz. But when has anybody else in the Democratic Party has ever been politically attacked, like shot at or life been threatened? Or... Can y'all help me out? Like, I need help from the people because I'm stumped. What the fuck did this bitch need a bulletproof shield for? You not Donald Trump. You not J.D. Vance or nobody that these motherfuckers want to kill. You're not a motherfucking Republican. So what do you need protection for? The Democratic Party is the only one who's been doing violence in these motherfucking streets. Them and their constituents. And the people who live in their fucking districts. I'm confused on what the fuck the shield was for, bitch. Who do you need protection from? MAGA? Because MAGA ain't out here motherfucking hurting people. From the last, there's some racist ass white people that say some weird shit that's, a part of MAGA, but that has nothing to do with the MAGA movement. That's just them being their own racist self. I'm just confused. Because somebody help me out. I don't understand what the fucking shield around this bitch was for.
Trump has broken the Democratic Party. They're in shambles right now. They are doing the most, man. They are doing the most. I've never thought I would see some shit like this before. People are tripping, dog. They're going crazy. It is hella funny to watch people respond to everyday common sense now. These people have lost it. Now, the latest stuff is about the gerrymandering. So, they say that the black people don't have representation in Tennessee, right? Okay, how is that possible when it's 2 people running in that district, right? The white guy is a Democrat, and there's a black woman running as Republican. So why they can't vote for the black woman for representation? Why? Because they don't want black representation. They want democratic representation. Duh.
Hey, black women. I have a question. Y'all have all these questions for us white women, so I have one.
I got a question cause I really need to know. Do you ever get tired of being a bitch ass nigga? A hoe ass nigga. A pussy ass nigga. A pussy ass nigga. Do you get tired? Do you get tired?
Don't be mad at me. I'm not the one who wrote the song.
And the sad thing about that is, I actually saw a black woman and a black man cheering her on in the comment section saying they want to know the same thing. Well, I asked her, excuse me, Karen, can you please explain and tell me and let me know? What questions have we ever asked you or any other white woman? I said, honey, we're unconcerned and unbothered by you. Okay. And if you think this ticks us off, it doesn't. But nice try. You wanted our attention, but you didn't really get the reaction that you were looking for, because she said, oh, they're not in the comments crashing out like I thought they would be, because we don't really care. You just made yourself look stupid and let everybody know that you're racist. And I'm sure you're proud of that. But at the end of the day, that doesn't affect us, because you sit there mouthing the words of a song. Like, they really try so desperately to get under our skins. Okay? They really try so desperately. It's funny to me how much they just really preoccupy themselves with us. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about the N-word.
You said black people say it to black people all the time, but it's a problem when white people do it.
Gays say their slurs to gays. Girls say their slurs to girls. It's almost like in-group endearment and out-group attacks are two different things, right? Women call each other bitch affectionately all the time. Feels a little different coming from a strange man on the street, doesn't it? My gay friends call each other the F slur in jest. Us straights don't join in because we understand we're not in that group. None of this confuses you. You navigate these rules perfectly every single day without thinking about it. My daddy calls my mommy honey cakes. You, an outsider, don't get to call her that. But you already know why. There's no Jubilee debates about it, no Fox News panels discussing it, because everyone understands. Until we get to this one group and this one word, suddenly every social norm you follow effortlessly everywhere else goes out the window, and you're standing there befuddled like a fool that a term of endearment between family isn't open to the stranger hurling it as a violent attack. You understand just fine. You prove it every other day with every other group and every other word. But this is the one you want access to because this is the group you're addicted to. There's a reason ethicists and psychologists describe racism as an abandonment of reason, because suddenly all cognitive function goes haywire, and that high IQ I keep hearing about stops IQing. Every other in-group word, you understand the line without a second thought. But only for this group and only for this word that turns your brain to mush, like a cerebrally challenged heroin addict going through withdrawal. You got these intense cravings, agitation, you're restless, sweating, turning red, watery eyes, you're irritable, desperate, single-minded fixation on getting the next dose of sinful slurs, a pathetic junkie, but chin up. Recovery is possible. First, admitting that you let a stranger's skin tone run your entire life. Let go of the drug. Be free. Let us pray. Heads down. And down. Father God.
Okay, no lies detected. Prince of Paraphernalia, thank you for being a member for 9 months. He says, if we're chimping out, then the white people are caving in. Okay, exactly. Okay, like sit down somewhere, honey. They're always mad at black folk. But for those of you who aren't, going in on the Republicans and you think the Democrats are so nefarious, but not the Republicans, because that's never what you say. You just ask about what the Democrats, or you just whine and grope about what the Democrats didn't do. Yeah, we can complain about it, like I said, and we should complain about it, and we should absolutely hold them accountable and call them out. Just like I called out Jasmine Crockett the other day. I actually liked Little Miss Crockett, but I called her out for supporting the candidate who is taking AIPAC money. Okay, there's nothing wrong with calling people out, but what I'm not going to do is sit here and show favor or defend the party that wants to take us back to Jim Crow and make us slaves. That's what I'm not going to do. And any black person that does is a fool. Period. Now, with that all being said, let me just show you this also, because this is also what you're supporting if you support the Republicans. And you don't have to come out and say you support the Republicans, but when you say you don't support the Democrats, that's exactly what you're doing. Make it all make sense.
What is your excuse? He's a liar. Neighbors with this dude. Claims you only ever met him once. Lived next to him for 20-some years.
Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
How this guy has a job today is a disgrace. Proven liar, advising the President of the United States every day. I'm so done with these people, man.
I'm so done with them too. Okay, I'm so done with them too. We the people said both parties are sworn to oath to bring in the NWO future agenda. Well, I know one thing, the Trump administration is doing just that. Okay. Where did you find this proof that there's a sworn oath? I would love to see it. But like I said, what I do know is that the Trump administration is trying to bring in a whole lot of BS that's not going to be good for us. And we the people, don't make me put you in time out because you're sitting here being disrespectful to D Major in the chat, talking about him shaking his Bucci cat. Okay, that lets me know who you've been listening to. You need to take your behind right back over to that channel with that. That's what you need to do. Okay, that's what you need to do. Don't be in here calling nobody no slurs, because that's really what you're saying. A Bucci cat. Okay, we know what that term belongs to. Okay, so don't be in here disrespecting a grown man, implying such if that grown man is not that. Okay, thank you. And stop causing disruptions in my chat as well. You and D Major, both of y'all stop doing it. Both of y'all stop doing it. Now, don't let me start issuing timeouts. All right? Because y'all know I don't mind. Now, with that all being said, like I said, we the people, you already know, if you don't like the Queen's talking points, go right back to where you get the points that you like. All right? So Dialogue said, I don't support neither of them. Well, here's the thing, beloved. I'm not saying that you do. I'm not even saying that I do. What I am saying, let me say it again. What I am saying is that everyone with common sense should vote for the people who will give them the most of what they're voting for. We're not going to get reparations. We haven't gotten an anti-Black hate crime bill from either party. But what you did get with the Democrats, the people got SNAP benefits for those who need it. Okay? People got health care that they can actually afford, which is paramount for so many people. There's a lot of elders amongst us. There's a lot of sick and disabled people, veterans included. They need their insurance. Okay, so with that all being said, if you don't care about them or that, then that's fine. But my point is we need to look at the bigger picture. Okay, we need to look at the bigger picture. Hattie said, Queen, that wasn't true about Jasmine Crockett. They're pounding on her. Yeah, that was true about her, beloved. And listen, I have been one of the biggest people one of the biggest supporters of Jasmine Crockett. It absolutely is true. Jasmine's doing something that I call playing with semantics. She'll sit there and say, oh, I didn't confirm that I was endorsing either of them. Neither of them asked me to confirm them. But when she stands on a stage, pay attention. When she stands on a stage in front of myriads of people and she says that this is the best candidates, this is the best pick, this is the one, how is that not an endorsement? You don't have to literally say, I endorse this man. But when you say all of that, you just endorsed that man over Cori Bush, who has never taken a dime of AIPAC money and who lost the last time because BB and them bought out her seat basically with all the money, just like they did with Thomas Massey, beloved. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's just call a thing a thing. Now, if Little Miss Crockett hadn't done that, I would still be defending her. But whether I like you or not, I'm going to call you out when you do some BS. And that's just how it goes. Okay, I'm not going to cape for you just because you're someone that I previously liked or that I previously spoke highly of. Because if I made a mistake by doing so, I can damn sure admit it. And that's just what I did. So Little Miss Crockett can sit down somewhere. Okay. Now, what I will say is someone said they thinks that she takes AIPAC money. No, she's never accepted a dime from AIPAC. Okay. Because trust and believe, I would not have been shouting her out if she had. Because see, one thing about it is I do my research to find out who's getting AIPAC money. And she absolutely wasn't. But she's promoting someone who is, and that's just as bad as far as I'm concerned. That is just as bad. Okay? So with that all been said, like I told you all, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is vote blue and then vote for the people that are not receiving funds from AIPAC if you can. All right, if you can. Mr. Elevation said, I'm here for the queen roasted of wigs around the world. Well, you know, I'll roast all the wigs. I'll roast all the wigs. Danger said true and recorded. Exactly. Okay, now she can sit there and try to tap dance around it. And here's the thing, too. You should know that she knew what she was doing because at the end of the day, she's protesting too much. Okay, she's protesting too much. Y'all nosy asses, y'all this and y'all that. Girl, sit down somewhere. Okay, sit down somewhere. You did what you did. Nobody lying on you. Boo. Least of all, not the queen. Now, with that all being said, let me go to this clip. I just had it pulled up. Hold on, now I have to find it again. Hold on, beloveds, because I want you all to hear, and you may have already heard it, but I want to talk about this whole thing with Kevin Hart because, honey, when I tell you Kevin Hart is going to realize that he has really lost a majority of his Black audience. Now, maybe that doesn't matter to him because he's still getting paid for being a whole raccoon. And he has the other people who don't look like me who will still cheer him on for his buffoonery and raccoonery. But at the end of the day, honey, he's effed up as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Now, he was on the Breakfast Club yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. And that's why we're bringing it back up. Hold on. Let me just search this real quick on here. Measure Man says Jasmine does take AIPAC money she runs through street and the rest she got in crypto POC money. Honey, listen, don't try to correct me when you don't know what you're talking about, Measure Man. I thank you for your insight and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate you. But what I don't appreciate is trying to call me wrong when I know for a fact I'm right. Here's the proof right here. Okay, I told y'all I do research. Y'all gonna learn. Okay, now y'all know that's a pet peeve of mine. Someone trying to correct the queen when I know exactly what I'm talking about. I just told you I did the research. Did you think I was lying? Representative Jasmine Crockett does not accept direct contributions or political action committee money from AIPAC. However, campaign finance data from groups like Open Secrets has identified thousands of dollars in bundled donations from individual pro-is-not-real donors connected to the lobby, and she accepted fully funded educational trip to yikes. Ha! Yikes. My bad. Okay, well, guess I was wrong on that one, Measure Man. Guess I was wrong on that one, sad to say. I didn't know she took a pro-is-not-real funded trip. So that is the equivalent of taking money from AIPAC as far as I'm concerned. But nonetheless, like I said, she was promoting someone who took it. So that's equally as bad as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Now, with that all being said, Prince of Paraphernalia says of AIPAC paid Jasmine, if they paid her 10 bands, hold on. This chat's moving too fast. 10 bands to do a pole dance. Y'all think you do it? First of all, I would hope not. Just Anticipate said Queen is indeed a true Pisces. Yes, I absolutely am. Okay, I absolutely am. Dialogue said this channel really gets defensive when we speak negative about the DMs. Honey, it's not about the DMs necessarily. I just told you it's about the bigger picture. Now, if you have a problem with this channel and what goes on, just leave, beloved. Nobody's holding you here. Okay? Nobody's holding you here. All right, sit down somewhere. Jay Bird said, yes, Queen, you're wrong though. I sure was, honey, but at least I can admit it. Okay, at least I can admit it. Now, with that all being said, let's go to this fool who was removed from the court. Let me pull this up. Likes up, please. Thank you. Okay. Suspect in wild police chase removed from court for third time, and here's why. Well, because she's a fool. That's why. That's why, for one reason. Hold on, let me share my screen.
Caught in Hamilton County Court earlier today for a hearing of a woman accused of injuring a police officer during a multi-state chase.
This marks the third time Aisha Harris has been removed from court after being disruptive.
Mike Schell was there and has more.
The third time in court was not the charm for 35-year-old Aisha Harris. The Winton Hills woman was physically removed by sheriff's deputies while kicking and screaming. This third time in court for Harris turned out to be her most violent so far.
I say a lot of stuff because I be upset.
Lashing out in court is nothing new for Aisha Harris.
I don't even get that, and she keep on lying, man.
Harris is facing several felony counts after police dash cam video allegedly showed her leading officers on a chase in February through Hamilton County into Indiana and then back to Ohio. One officer was injured when a police cruiser drove up on the trailer that Harris was allegedly pulling and caused one of the cop cars to flip over. The vehicle Harris was driving was wanted in connection with felonious assault and weapons under disability warrants. Harris eventually crashed into a tree and the vehicle caught fire. Harris showed her displeasure with the court proceeding.
May 4th, I think we have the dates.
Judge Christopher McDowell said when Harris was in his courtroom back in April, he had her removed because of her behavior.
And when she came back and on her way out is when she put her foot through the trash can.
Harris is also accused of cutting off her ankle monitor and fleeing to Georgia.
Tired of being in here. Y'all don't understand that part.
And that you actually lunged at the
Not in lunge at nobody.
Prosecutor Elise Dieters says Harris threatened her physically.
She said that she didn't lunge regardless. She said she was going to slap the out of me. Again, just proving that she can't behave in court.
Harris's attorney tried to explain his client's behavior.
She's frustrated, Your Honor. I know it's given her underlying mental health issues, and it's just difficult for her, Your Honor.
When Judge McDowell sentenced Harris
Oh, so now she's playing the mentally ill card. This lady knows exactly what she's doing, in my opinion. Sitting there spitting and acting a whole darn fool because she's mad because she committed crimes. Okay, that endangered the lives of others. Like, please sit down somewhere. I know the lawyer has to defend her, but she looks ridiculous.
To 90 days in jail on the contempt charges. This happened.
The lawyers look.
Out of here. Let me go.
Judge McDowell did not charge Harris with a third contempt of court, saying, quote, "It doesn't seem to do any good." This was actually a competency hearing for Aisha Harris, and Judge McDowell ruled that she is competent to stand trial, which is scheduled to begin on August 24th. If convicted on all 4 felony counts against her, Harris could be sentenced to up to 43 and a half years in prison.
Woo.
From outside the Hamilton County Courthouse.
Now, what do you all think? Do you all think she's competent to stand trial? I personally think she's putting on a show. I personally think that she's putting on a show so she doesn't go to prison and get those 43 years. What do you all think? Do you all think that she's actually mentally ill or just putting on? I mean, she could really be mentally ill for all I know, but I just have a feeling that she's putting on a show. That's my opinion. Now, Dialogue says, I can't have an opinion. Of course you can. I say all the time that we can agree to disagree on here. I'm just simply saying that you seem to be bothered when you said that I was defensive. Okay, so I'm just saying that if that is a problem for you, there's other options. That's all I'm saying. Now, DJ Big Six said they may just let her out to cause mayhem. They're not letting her out. They are not letting her out, okay? Please pay attention. She's a danger to society. Did you see how she was driving that car? Honey, they wouldn't let her out. They might put her in a mental facility, but they're definitely not letting her on the streets. Ashkan said, I know she's faking, but I'd say 43 months, not years. Well, that's being generous. I would say not 43 years either, but at least about 5 or 6. I would say at least about 5 or 6. Brittany says she ain't crazy. Okay. J Love the Queen says she looks like she might be bipolar schizophrenic. I know plenty of people like that and they act up. Well, they absolutely do act up. But guess what, beloved? Nefarious people act up too. Have you ever seen that movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? That's what she's given. That man played crazy so to avoid prison. Korea said that Tatu Korea said she's not well. Yeah, I would agree that she isn't well, but I don't think she's mentally ill like that. I think she knows exactly what she's doing. Marjorie said, I'm sorry, but I truly feel sorry for her. She needs to be evaluated ASAP, and then we can determine her mental status. B1. Well, here's the thing, beloved. I think they did determine it because they just said that she's competent to stand trial. So they've probably already had her evaluated. Hold on, did I see somebody say that she's possessed by a demon? Yeah. Terry Hinn said she's possessed by a demon. Now, you know that absolutely could be the case as far as I'm concerned. Okay, and let's not confuse demonic possession with mental illness because there is a difference even though both carry the same symptoms. The difference between demonic possession is that the person is usually have some sort of aversion to anything holy, such as a Bible or holy water or the name of Jesus and things like that. She could be possessed, honey, because there's a lot of that going around if you ask me. There's a lot of that going around. Baldwin said they're not letting her out, and they shouldn't. And you're right, she is dangerous. POP says, who gets in a police chase with a trailer test the car? Does she have a trailer on the car? Anyway, honey, she got in a police chase, and I don't think that was the first time she's done something so ridiculous. Baldwin said she might go to a mental ward. Yeah, but they're definitely not going to let her out on the streets. Okay. Heidi says, I feel sorry for this woman. She needs mental health care. Okay, so it's kind of split, I guess. Tanny says she's such a lovely young lady. Fear said they need to bring back psychiatric hospitals. Yeah, they do. But you know what? We're never going to get that kind of treatment for mentally ill people while Trump's in office. Trump's cutting all sorts of government programs that he deems unfit with his ridiculous self. Okay? Dialogue says, are the asylums closed down? Yes, beloved. That's why you have so many mentally ill homeless people roaming around on the streets. That's exactly why. And I really don't know and understand why the U.S. did that, because they know darn well there are some people who need to be locked up for mental health reasons. D Major said, Queen, it's all that fluoride toothpaste she might be using allegedly. I don't really know about that, beloved. I don't really know about that, but I do know that fluoride in your toothpaste is not good for you. Okay, the main ingredient in an atomic bomb and also one of the ingredients in rat poisoning. Okay, so that's exactly why I don't use it, and I don't want any water with fluoride in it. And when I go to the dentist, please don't try to give me a fluoride treatment. And you know something? When you go to the dentist, they literally, at least my hygienist, basically try to force me or coerce me into getting a fluoride treatment. I was like, no, I don't want the fluoride treatment. She's like, but it only costs so and so. I said, I don't care how much it costs. I don't want it. But you really should. I said, ma'am, the answer is no. What part of no don't you understand? The N or the O? Okay, so I had to ask for another hygienist because she was getting on my last nerve. Try to strong arm me into calcifying my pineal gland. Girl, sit down somewhere. I need all of my cognitive skills and abilities and my spiritual gifts. Has she lost her mind? At the end of the day, Millicent said competent to stand trial, but still mentally ill. Could be. Could be. Ashkan says, my guess is the privatized asylums or something. There are, hold on, this chat's moving. There are more halfway houses now. There are way more halfway houses now. Yeah, but those halfway houses don't serve to treat mental illness, beloved. Those are for people coming out of jail before, you know, when they're still on under watch, like probation or something, right? So anyway, he just said it's a free country, supposedly. Yeah, but she don't need to be free. Okay, Indigo says, when applied to Representative Crockett's relationship with AIPAC, the reality suggests that earthly localized politics, the Legos of lobbying, currently favor the Western establishment. Okay. Yeah, pretty much things do favor the Western establishment, but, you know, I don't see what that has to do with Crockett's relationship to AIPAC. All right, so anyway, people need to make more love, says that. Yeah, we need love, not war. Okay. America started closing asylums down in the mid 20th century. Hold on. Unfortunately, yes, they absolutely did. And it's really not a good thing. So, anyway, with that all being said, DJ Big Six said that was a riddle. All right, listen, I'm about to be out of here. Okay, I'm about to be out of here. Oh, hold on. I want y'all to see one more thing. Okay, I want y'all to see actually two more clips. All right, one of them is Jamel Hill. One of them is Jamel Hill going in on Jackson Dart. Jamel Hill goes in on Jackson Dart.
1,000,001 of why just because somebody appears to love Black culture don't mean they really fuck with Black people. And by that, I mean this, is that everybody was giving Jackson Dart the swag pass in the cookout class because he iced out, because he do his little end zone dances. And there was this immediate rush to be like, oh, he one of us, so he invited to the cookout. And when I say they don't mess with Black people, meaning that it's not disqualifying for them to associate themselves with somebody who is bigoted, who is racist, who constantly traffics in white supremacist talking points. Abdul Carter is a Black man and a Muslim, so it wasn't a surprise that he had a problem with Jackson Dart aligning himself with Trump. But again, I just wanted to remind y'all, doing a couple dances, listening to our music, knowing some rap lyrics does not mean you get any free passes, any cookout passes, or none of that. So go tell your manager, this is a friendly PSA.
Okay, and that's absolutely true because some of y'all Black people, honey, y'all be so willing to give them a pass or whatever just because they can dance good, just like my friend Sam said. Okay, some Black folk will absolutely, oh, they're invited to the cookout. No, they're not. Absolutely not. What have they done to prove they deserve a plate and a seat at the cookout? Okay. He just said, great show. Love the debate this morning. I don't love it, beloved. Okay, I don't love it because I lost the debate with Measured Man. All right, y'all know I hate to take L's. I'm just like Trump. Psych. Psych, I can take my L's and keep it moving, okay? Please pay attention. All right, don't get me twisted. Now, with that all being said, let's go to this last video clip because this is so nefarious what this cop does. All right, this is so nefarious what this cop does.
Two shits what you gotta do. Find his ass, fire him, and charge him because that shit was intentional.
He's crossing the road.
It's babies.
Hold on. Hold on. Leon said, no, not you. Ashka said, damn near dropped my mug of coffee. Okay, sometimes I be doing too much. That's the truth. Sometimes I be doing too darn much. See, Measure Man feels me because he's a Pisces too. That's right. You see, that's right, beloved. Okay, forgive and forget, Measure Man. Now you can even go in on me for payback. Being nefarious. I'm talking about I went in on him. Measurement, don't you correct me when I told you it's a pet peeve, when I know what I know and I did my research. Child, sit down somewhere. You just embarrassed yourself on a whole live, honey. Now I can't come back till next week. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a break, honey. All right? He just says we love you, Queen. I love y'all too, honey. And thank God y'all do, honey, because half of y'all will be gone by now. Please pay attention. Sad but true. Okay. Just anticipate saying, yeah, you Pisces or something else. Measurement said LOL. Queen went hard. My mouth was open. Bachman said we love you. Thank you, beloved. I love y'all too. This is all hilarious. Ashgan said so sweet. Thank you, Ashgan, beloved. This is all hilarious. I need to sit down somewhere seriously. Okay? Claudette said my youngest son is a Pisces. Okay, so you get me, beloved. Okay, I can be nefarious sometimes, I have to admit. Buckers DC said the chat tripping again, okay? Now let's go to this this video footage. Queen Shay said, you good, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Now let's go to this footage. And I want you all to see what this officer did. Now, some of you might say, oh, it was just a goose, but this is just low down, okay? On so many levels.
Charge him because that shit was intentional.
He's crossing the road.
It's babies. Sorry if we're late for church.
And everything looks so good so far, right?
Goose crossing.
There's two little bitty babies.
Absolutely. Now you have the cops stepping in and helping out. Or at least that's what you thought when you saw this, correct?
What are you doing?
Oh, my Lord.
Like, ain't no fucking way you can't sit here and say that wasn't intentional. And I could understand if the little duckling would have ran back towards you, but no, absolutely not. You were right behind him, and next thing you know, you drove faster into him. Literally following the same path that they were going. And for anybody that decides to jump in my comments and say, oh, it's just a fucking duck, why does it matter? Go fuck yourself. Don't do that shit here. Because there was no reason for that officer to do what they did. I don't give two shits what you gotta do. Find his ass, fire him, and
Doesn't that just slow down? Like, why would he literally went out of his way to run over those geese? That was just low down. Okay, I'm sorry. Who does that? And the little child that was watching with the mother in the car that was recording it. And thank God they were recording it. Okay, see, that's why he did it too. Didn't think anybody was going to see it. But that child could be traumatized for all we know. Jay Bird said, I was scared to correct you. Don't be scared to correct me, honey. I tell you all to do it. I tell you all to do it. And then had the nerve to get mad at Measure Man when he actually did. Pay attention. J Love says, Dow, Pisces are wild. My stepdaughters are Pisces, and my daughters are Pisces, born on your birthday and the day after. Are you serious? Oh, honey, I feel sorry for you. You have two daughters and you have a daughter and stepdaughter born on my birthday. Honey, that's a sad story for you, okay? That is a sad story for you, beloved. I hate to hear it. I hate to hear it. Listen, with that all being said, okay, I need to have several seats at this point. All right, that's what I need to do, clearly. Yeah, POP said that was beyond wicked, okay? I need to sit myself down somewhere in an empty stadium. Hutchcott said he is dead, okay? Now, with that all being said, everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, okay, or unsubscribe, because I know I done ticked some of y'all off clearly, okay? But anyway, everyone enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Listen, I love you all to life. Mr. Elevation says the pettiness is embedded in the queen's skin, allegedly. It is. It literally is, beloved, okay? I got to work on it, okay? I'm a work in progress. Please pay attention. AJ said, now y'all going in too damn hard. Now, this is getting out of hand. AJ said, you need a whole couch to yourself, Queen. I absolutely do. BB said, my son is a Pisces and my dog was born on the same day as my son. Wow. Okay, and so, hold on. D Major said, Queen, I know you love Virgos. Honey, my man is a Virgo. I absolutely do. Okay, even though I do believe that many of them are narcissists or they have at least narcissistic tendencies. But yes, I absolutely love Virgos. Okay, so anyway, actually, all of my exes, except for one, are absolutely Virgos. High school boyfriend, college boyfriend, all that. Okay, isn't that crazy? Okay, so listen, you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I will be back later, probably around 7 or 7:30. So if you don't get the notification, please just check the channel, all right? And so with that all being said, now I got to tell you all on the next live, I have to tell you all something that Trump said that is so hilarious, okay? And nefarious at the same time, all right? So anyway, love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
Hit him with that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating